What's up, growers? You're back here with Donny Greens. I'm reporting live from Camp Reba. I put up this tarp the other day for her because it was getting hot out so she could have some shade. She's been a great doggy. And we got a big update video today. A lot of stuff has gone down since the last update video. It's a huge one. We're here in the springtime and I'm very excited. We got so many things going on. We built this new garden behind us, which you'll see. I'm gonna take you up into my tree net. I'm gonna show you how I've basically broken the fence. We're gonna see the ducks. We're gonna see the dog. We are going to see Willow that I planted, all 200 cuttings that I planted on this property. And we're also gonna see about a dozen fruit trees that got planted recently as well. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let's check out this garden, because this was a lot of work. We got this done a few weeks back and I think it came out amazing. So we got this fence installed after I rototilled the whole area. Then me and my friend Casey, we shaped the beds into the right shaping. You know, we had strings and everything. We made straight lines. We shaped the beds and then we covered them with Vermont compost, top dressed them, and then we even got some plants planted in here. So you can see in this first row, we have lettuces and we have spinach and we have chard and we have collards and we have kale. And then in the next row we have, I think, some more kale and probably some cabbage. And then we even have potatoes in one of these rows. I believe it's row 5 that has potatoes underneath the surface. So that's all planted. We're going to be planting more this week and getting more stuff popping up in here. But I think the garden area came out really nice. I think that this fence came out really nice. I think that we had 11 rows planned and we brought it back down to 10. So I love how it's a nice even number. And the water spigot is right inside the area. So that's nice. Next thing that we have to do for this garden area is, one, we need to fill in all the pathways with wood chips. So I'm getting wood chips delivered this week. That's when my wood chip delivery is coming. I'm getting a full truck, which is gonna be a lot of wood chips, but I should be fine. We're gonna be filling in all the pathways. So in between each aisle is gonna get wood chips, and then around the whole perimeter is also gonna get wood chips. And then on the outside of this gate, or of this fence rather, we wanna prevent other animals from getting in and burrowing in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put down hardware cloth, 2-foot hardware cloth. Then I'm gonna put wood chips on top, and this is gonna be around basically the whole perimeter. Then I'm gonna put wood chips on top. It's gonna get nice and level with the bottom of the fence. And then we're gonna do cinder blocks. We'll do cinder blocks probably 2 high along the whole area. And then we'll fill the cinder blocks with soil and we'll be able to grow in the cinder blocks, but those cinder blocks will prevent animals from coming right in, like the small bunnies coming in through these small holes. And then here on this side, probably in the front here, and then also on the front on that side, we're gonna do another bed on top of the hardware cloth, and then a single row of cinder blocks in the front, just to get more growing space right on the outside of the garden. So it's still a work in progress, obviously, but it's definitely coming along nice, and I'm happy with it. Let's take a walk into the back now. We'll say hi to the duckies, and I'll show you some other stuff. So our ducks literally just free roam the whole backyard now. It's amazing. And it's really become clear whose property this really belongs to. It belongs to the ducks. So, hello. We love these duckies. They're a lot of fun. And they always love to be like in the mix. They love to be involved with whatever else we're doing and like really close. When I was rototilling in there, they were like right next to the machine. The sound wasn't bothering them. And they've been awesome. I love having them around every time we're out here. And then you can see this big tree that got dropped. I did this yesterday with my dad. It's pretty dangerous, but we got it done. So we used my tiny little chainsaw and was chopping away up there. And then I used a wedge, got it in there, hit it in with a hammer. And then I also had my tree climbing ropes. I had it strapped into the top of the tree. So then me and my dad cranked it down with leverage and got it down. So now I'm leaving this bottom half because there's a hook in the top that I'm going to use as a string to go across to string up like any climbers like tomatoes that I plant in that area. But now this brings in a little bit more sun to this area, only a little bit, but it was kind of just big and annoying, so I didn't really want it there. And the most important thing was we're going to have to drop that in the future anyway, and we want to plant our hazelnut trees over here, so we didn't want to risk damaging the hazelnut trees when we finally did drop this. So now we could plant those hazelnuts. We're going to be doing that today. I organized the compost into a nice, like, taller pile. So instead of just making a big flat area, now I'm building it up and letting it build up into these taller piles. That helps it break down. The ducks love climbing on it. And then these are the bins that I dumped yesterday. So I have to get in here with like a shovel and just get these up into a bigger pile. So I'm gonna kind of make it like an L shape type of thing. And then as it breaks down and is usable again, I'll be spreading it across the property and potting up plants with it, stuff like that. All right, we still got this pile of bricks over here, but I think we might just take the XX bricks and put them around the perimeter of the property along the fence, just to start getting rid of them. I don't think that'll be too bad, and then we'll cover them with wood chips or something. But it's springtime, baby. Super pumped. Everything's blooming. This is my favorite time of year, I think, for sure. The elderberries are coming back nice. The raspberries we planted aren't looking the greatest, but they are getting some leaves back, I'm seeing. But they're taking a little bit of a hit in their transplant. But we have 3 raspberries right here, 3 raspberries right there, and this needs to start getting mulched. So luckily we're getting those wood chips in this week because I have to start mulching a bunch of stuff again. Because the top level of ground is too exposed and that's drying it out. So when you put the mulch over it, all the wood chips, one, they're breaking down into the soil, but that's more of a long-term thing. But in the short term, the sun hits the wood chips, dries out the wood chips, and then the soil underneath stays moist for the plants. So I used a post digger and dug a hole over here and then put this big stick into the ground, and then I yanked tension on it, so it proved my ability to get poles into the ground properly. I yanked tension with my paracord, and this is how I'm stringing up the blackberries. The blackberries are coming back very nice. I did a bunch of work with them yesterday. I pruned them. I stuck them up into the strings, and this one doesn't look like it's gonna make it. This one I had to chop all the way back down to the ground. This one is kind of just a stem now, but it's all right. This is how it goes. But we have a bunch of really nice, healthy blackberry bushes that are going to put off a ton of fruit this season. Now over here, we got a bunch of trees that I planted. So this one is a pear tree. This one's an apricot. This one is another pear. And then we have 3 plums that we planted back here. And then this is our big pear that is producing already, that we've been up in there pruning away at. It looks pretty good, and now it's getting all of its blooms. And these branches, which I want to be the future canopy of this tree after we bring the energy down by topping it season after season, and these will become the new branches. I'm really impressed and happy with how well they're growing. They're getting much thicker, much quicker, and they have a ton of growth on them. And I'm just very excited for that, because these are going to be the future main branches that are going to be the fruit producing branches, and they're looking good. So I'm happy for that. They're taking nice branch angles, and they're getting foliage and getting stronger, which is important. So that's going awesome. And again, with the mulch, like I need to mulch these fruit trees that we just planted too. So I've just been keeping water on them, and then this week we'll be able to get our wood chips and start moving those around. Obviously, just a bunch of branch work always. This is a lot of branches from when I was pruning this pear tree. And then I did some pruning of this dogwood because that was in rough shape, and now it's brought back a little bit. So this is what we thought was a cherry plum, but I'm thinking that it's actually just a normal plum tree. We just have to take off some of the fruit, and then the plums will get bigger, is what I'm thinking. But this was coppiced a year or 2 ago, and now this is all the new branches, and this was loaded with flowers a few days ago, and it's looking good. So I think it looks healthy. It's not getting too much of this little scraggly stuff coming out, so I think these have been adopted as the main new branches. So I'm expecting a bunch of fruit off of this season. This poor little apple tree that got damaged in the big debacle, it doesn't look like it's coming back, but this is our little apple stump. This is probably my best elderberry. It's looking amazing. And then this apple tree, which I really was unsure about, very unsure about, it looks like it's coming back pretty nice. So that's a Williams Pride apple. That was a Honeycrisp. So I got to get definitely a few more apple trees at least. But maybe this season, maybe next season. It's getting into the spring, so I don't know if I want to do much more planting other than what I have, which is really just hazelnuts and a few blueberries. But in the future, definitely need more apple trees. So back here we need to fix up. We want to start planting seeds and then doing chopping and dropping, so that way it starts rehabilitating this really bad soil over here. All right. Oh, so before I forget, the willow that we planted, come over here. We'll see if we can get a little close up. So I planted willow across this whole fence, boom, the whole fence. And then I planted some willow over there. I planted some willow in the front yard, and I planted some willow around that wood chipped area. So there's willow in a lot of places, but basically I just took some rebar, hammered it into the ground so it made a hole, and then I stuck these little willow cuttings into the holes. So these are in the ground now. They're going to be sending their roots down into the soil, and then they're going to be getting their little branches out from the stem that sticks up above the surface. And I can see some of them are already getting little shoots coming off of them. So these will grow like kind of like these scraggly little willows up, and then you chop them down to the ground a few seasons in a row, and then after that they keep on getting bushier and bushier, and these will be a nice, kind of just a nice, a nice resource for the property. We could use it for plant stakes, we can use it for basket weaving. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do with it. We can sell it. But then it also is going to provide some privacy for us. So along this fence, we actually have a variety that gets 30 feet tall all the way down there. Right here where we're standing, we have a variety that gets 15 to 20 feet tall. And then we have one over there that's called a giant pussy willow, which is kind of big, and it gets these nice flowers and everything. And I forget what these ones are called. I think Kariniyagi and Miyabina. So I'm still in the process of learning my willow species. But I'm excited for that. That's going to be a very interesting willow project. We planted about 200 cuttings, about 10 different varieties, and I'm going to be experimenting with that. One of the things that I'm very fascinated with is their ability to create living fences. So you can actually plant the willows in a line and then weave them together, and it makes a living fence. So that's pretty cool. We have willow along here too, so this is going to make a nice wall, a nice barrier between like the nice grass over here and then the food forest area over here. And we're going to be planting our hazelnuts right around here, kind of like near the entrance. As you walk in, you're going to kind of come by the hazelnuts. So I've been very careful not to step on those little cuttings that are in the ground. I already put up this a line above here, so that way if I plant tomatoes here again or some sort of climbers, I can trellis them on there. Oh, I definitely just hit one of the willows. Whoops. We've been obviously managing a lot of the wood, so this is just a bunch of scraps. We're probably gonna have a fire today, I'm thinking, so we're gonna start burning this down. And then we have 4 grapes that we planted along this pool fence. I don't know how well they're taking, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce back. The first order of plants I had they came in a bit early for our agricultural zone, so we had to just keep them inside. We should have moved them into the garage, but we had them just in the living room, so they were getting hit with 70 degrees, and they thought it was very much springtime, started putting out growth and stuff like that. So I think they got a little ahead of themselves before coming back outside. But hopefully they recover, and these are going to be 4 grapes that will grow up onto this fence. And then another thing I want to plant here is hardy kiwis that will come up and kind of live across the top of the fence. I'll do the hardy kiwis across the top of the fence, and then these grapes on the fence. So there's a lot that we have planned, and we want to be maximizing our food production on this property, because why not? Increase your health, increase your sustainability and self-sufficiency, reduce your food costs. It's amazing. Bunch of wood we have stacked here for outdoor fires. We have one peach tree looking amazing. I ended up topping it here to get a nice wide open center, and I think it's really liking what I did. This was looking lesser of the 2 that we planted over here, and now I feel like this one looks even better. So that one's coming back really nice. Here are our blueberries that we planted last season. They're getting loaded with more blueberries, and we're going to plant the other 3 blueberries that we have in here as well. This is our other peach, and this one's bigger than the other one, but it's not looking as good, at least this season. What I think is going on here is I think that there's a lot of tree to this tree, and I think that the roots still need catching up. You kind of want to equalize the roots with the tree because they kind of support each other, and I think the ratio of tree to roots is a little too high right now. A little bit more tree than roots. So the roots need to catch up. But anyways, it's all looking good though. It's so nice getting into the springtime and watching everything pop, like the flowers over there, the flowers over there. It's amazing. I love this time of year. So our parsley made it through the whole winter and it's still here. So that's cool. These are more raspberries. I think these are black raspberries that were gifted to me. So we got to get those in the ground. All these strawberries are going to be transplanted into the pool area, which I'm going to show you in a second. Haven't done anything with these beds yet, but I'm thinking we want to move these 3 beds over into the wood chip area over there. So they're off the porch and we can have more room. Maybe get a tower garden or 2. Start experimenting with those. But then these 2 are in a very good location. This one's up against the house, so theoretically it should stay a little bit warmer over the winter. Also, it's a nice shape. We could put like a plexiglass and have almost like a mini greenhouse. So this is going to be good for growing winter crops. It's also right outside our back door, so it's great for like salad rotation crops. And then this one is also just a great spot because it's a good length for like how you walk into the pool area. Can't really do much else with this space anyway. So we're going to keep these 2 over here. But I got to start getting compost into here, filling them up and getting plants into there. I think I'm also going to need to order another sling of compost at least because we're already down to the last half sling and we're still using it. Celery over here. My seedlings this year didn't do nearly as well as last year, so I'm going to start another round and hopefully the second round will go better. Really the only difference is that we watered a little bit differently and we had them in different cells, but that shouldn't have made a difference. The big difference for this year was that we put a little bit of compost in with the potting mix. So maybe I should have just done straight potting mix. Anyway, these are the filberts or the hazelnuts. So these are going to get planted today over in that food forest area. These are our blueberries over here and then our one olive tree that we also need to plant. This kale plant is from last season. I've still been eating the little baby leaves and baby florets. They're really good. And then I'll show you in here in the pool area what we've been doing and where we're going to be putting the strawberries. So this area, I'll show you down there, but it's really just like rocks and just like nothingness. So I've been moving all the rocks down towards the fence, then putting in a nice perimeter of rocks, of bigger rocks. Then we've been putting in the compost. The hostas came back up where they usually come up, so now we can see where those are. Now we're going to be filling in all this compost area with strawberries. So this is just going to be strawberries down the whole pool area. And down here you can see what this area was before we put down the compost. It's just rocks. It's just straight rocks. Super annoying. Just rocks with like random things growing through it. I do like the random mullein coming up and growing because I like mullein and I want that. But other than that, the rest of it is pretty annoying. So we've just been clearing it out, moving it down, dropping on cardboard, and then putting in compost. And then we're going to plant our strawberries. Because we tried planting strawberries, but they went bad kind of inside before we were able to get them out. So we got to buy a new round. Actually, I just bought that new round. This, we found out what this was recently. It's called a Japanese knotweed. It's invasive, but apparently it's edible. So I want to try eating it. At this stage, at its current stage, it's edible when it's young. It's young shoots. Now this is where I'm basically breaking the fence. Obviously, these systems that I build, these tree webs, this actually isn't in a tree, it's just a web. They create a lot of tension, and it's really tensioning in. I thought it was going to share among the posts a little bit more, but it's really putting a lot of the tension on this first post and the last post, and they're just getting yanked in. So I need to take this down, and then once I take this down, I'm either going to just scrap the idea, or I'm actually going to move it down quite a ways, because if I move it like halfway down the poles, it won't be as harmful and damaging on the poles as it's pulling. So, but yeah, it's even pulling into the wood over here because it creates a ton of tension. But my idea was to create like this big lounging area up here, and then create a stairway from kind of like the diving board into the area, and then you could chill in there right near the pool. So but it's not coming out exactly as planned, unfortunately. Anyways, moving on. At the end of this video, I'll take you up into my tree web that's in the back. It's above the compost. But yeah, all these strawberries need to get transplanted to the pool area, and then all the new strawberries that are coming in the mail will get planted in there as well. We're thinking we want to do sunflowers in here instead of the cucumbers that we did last year, simply because it's just a great spot for sunflowers. All those cuttings I tried to make last year definitely died. I tried to make fig cuttings and mulberry cuttings from the tree that got ripped out by accident, and I don't think any of them took, so that's kind of disappointing, but it's all right. So here in the front, so great that we have this fence now, and these nice big doors, but this is where I had the compost delivered, right over here. I had 4 slings, 4 2-yard slings for a total of 8 yards, and we're down to the last, like, probably less than half. My lawnmower is not working right now, so that needs to get fixed, or I need to get a new one. And then these are 3 cherry trees that we planted. So when I had the rototiller, I kind of made a straight line, and then we're gonna do cherry trees down this whole way. So I have 3 in so far, and then we're gonna do probably another 2, maybe 3. And we'll have a nice amount of cherry trees right here in the front, and they'll look really pretty along the driveway and be producing food for us. So that's about it. We'll take a walk over here. I did a lot of tree trimming in this area. This tree, those trees. I've been using my arborist skills that I've been learning on YouTube, getting up into the trees and doing my work. So right here is where we're going to be putting the bees. We're actually getting bees in like 4 days. I think we're getting bees. They're shipping in 4 days, but so we're going to be getting them in maybe like a week. But anyways, we have some cinder blocks ready for them. But what we need to do is once we get those wood chips in, we got to get wood chips back here, kind of snuff anything out that we don't want growing. And then that'll also allow us to make it a little bit more even back here, a little bit more level. And then we'll set up the cinder blocks to put the beehives on. And then we'll have beehives. I think we're going to have 2, starting out with 2 this season. So that'll be nice. And then this beautiful magnolia tree bloomed, and it's always so pretty. And apparently you can take these petals and make like a sweetener with them, magnolia sugar. But yeah, this tree is always fun to watch bloom into this time of year. And I might try to put some strings in here somewhere and make a nice little hangout or a nice little hammock or something in this tree so we could chill under there. But anyways, so to close out this little tour, let's go over and have a little climb up in my tree web. I have a tree web out front that used to be my primary web, but now the back web is definitely my primary again. It's awesome. So I'm going to take you up there right now. Hello, Reba. Hello, girl. Hello, little baby. Oh, you're such a good dog. You're such a good dog. All right, let's go back to the tree web, and I'll give it a climb. Oh, by the way, I have to mention, Felco pruners are the best pruners I've ever used in my life. They're absolutely game-changing. You got to get the Felco pruners. And for hand saws, you got to get silky hand saws, I'm telling you. Not sponsored, by the way, just my personal preference. Hello, duckies. See, they're so friendly now and they're so brave. They're just all over the backyard. They're right next to us. It's amazing. I love them. They're always nearby. They love it. All right, I'm getting up into this tree web. So first you step on this rock, then onto this wooden thing. Then I have a little rock that's been strapped in here. I got a rock here, and then I actually got some wood that I cleaned up with a knife, and I strapped those in too for holds recently, and I added this little safety net as you're going up. So, and then I even have strapped a string all the way up on the 3rd level, all the way up there over to that tree. So you're gonna see me go up and I'm gonna be able to get all the way up there. So this is level 1. You step up into level 2. All right, so this is level 2. And then you come around and you step up into level 3. And you can see, this is where I'm kind of working on. I'm just keeping on filling in strings right here. And this line goes all the way over to that tree. So I'm gonna be able to fill in right here. It's gonna be really cool. So this is my little tree web. This is what I like to do in my free time. It's made out of climbing rope and paracord. Super fun. So I'll come on down now. Hell yeah, tree webs. So maybe I'll strap the phone onto me and I'll take you guys up with me on my chest so you can see what it's kind of like from a first person view getting up into this tree web. All right, let's do it. All right, so this is a little nook right there to sit in. It's very comfortable. It's the first level. And then there's a little step up. Second level. And above us is the 3rd level. So we're gonna walk over here, step up this branch. Step onto that branch. And then boom, we're up here. Views. You can see into all the neighbors' yards too. But, yep. This is the tree web. It's kind of sketchy to stand up here because there's no walls yet. But you can definitely chill. Get a good view over the property.